Hi Leo, this is your forecast for the month of December 2018. This is a general reading for Leo Sun, Leo Rising, or Leo Moon. For a more rounded overview, please watch your rising and moon sign as well. So Leo, this first week of December, you are feeling perhaps a great sense of joy, of peace, of emotional fulfillment, and that may be because your connections with others are in harmony. You may feel greater spiritual happiness, or you feel a sense of protection, of trust, of prosperity. You may be connecting to loved ones. You may recognize some kind of blessing, or again, you've realized a hope or dream that you have. There's a sense of peace and serenity. For some of you, there's some kind of celebration, perhaps a happy occasion of some sort, where you have the opportunity to give thanks and to recognize your blessings. For some of you, this means, again, group dynamics, a happy family, your friends or loved ones. You're focused on shared well-being, your prosperity, and in some cases, your relationships are improving. Perhaps your parent-child relationship takes a turn for the better, or you deepen a bond with someone. Whatever it is, it's tied to your memories, and events are tied to the past and memories, and longing to be together, perhaps to celebrate, to realize a goal. And in some cases, because you want to connect, you're willing to make concessions, to compromise, especially if there's something larger at stake. So if there have been any difficulties between you and another person, this may be the week where you decide to step up to the plate and heal that. If there's been a violation of trust or misunderstanding. And this could be a week of good news, of sharing, connecting to friends that feel like family. But for others of you, you may feel a lot of emotion, an intensity of emotion, an overabundance, too much. And maybe that's you, or you're connecting to someone. Perhaps, somebody's playing games, or they're being passive aggressive, or they're trying to get something in a roundabout manner. So for some of you, you could be having some problems in the home or with your relationships. There could be some family disagreements, or maybe you break a friendship, or somebody's being rebellious. It could be that you simply have more demands from family or your children, or somehow your daily family routine has to change, especially if you're accommodating guests, or you're, trying to attend some kind of function. Something about your daily life may be unsettled. In some cases, perhaps there's something that's canceled or delayed, or you may be feeling very emotional because you can't connect to the people that mean the most to you. Now, in some cases, somebody in the family may be a problem. They may be a troublemaker. They may be raining on the parade. This could be somebody that is, doing some kind of activity in the shadows. They're not being upfront. So there could be some risky behavior this week where somebody's, playing with fire, or there's a hidden aspect of something, a situation or something connected to yourself. And it may create some kind of fear, or perhaps you're dealing with something that is an illusion. It's not real. The rainbow shows up, but, there's something where you have to get past the illusion of it, and you have to acknowledge your fears about it. Now, the second week, you have the Queen of Wands. So this could very well be you. It could be another fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the traits of this queen. This queen may be a family member or a loved one of yours. She could be your wife, or she could be your mother, or somebody that is important to you. Maybe she's a boss, or she's somebody who is an expert and you're getting information from her. Maybe she's a patron of yours, or a business person, or somebody who's socially well connected that can introduce you to other people. For others of you, maybe she's involved in some form of higher education or some kind of organization or something involving promotion, either self-promotion, promotion of your projects, promoting your interests in some way. She may be offering you some guidance. Or you could be the Queen of Wands and taking on her traits. You may be exploring your psyche in some way, or she may be exploring your psyche, or you're listening to your own intuition, which is probably heightened this week. You feel very passionate about something, very inspired, very motivated, and you may be pursuing your own interests, or perhaps you need to seek some kind of direction. In some cases, you may be hearing from a family member who has passed, perhaps a spirit guide of some sort. But this is a week that focuses on your own ability to achieve the power to influence others. So again, you could be pursuing something with fierce determination. You have a lot of pulling power this week. You're very magnetic. And you're willing to use your assets and go after what you want. So it could be a week of business success where you take the reins of something, you feel very passionate, you feel courage, or maybe you're getting into trouble, or you're connecting with somebody who's very domineering and who's over managing a situation. They may feel that they're being protective, but they're being overly emotional. Or perhaps you realize a goal through being enterprising, using your influence, gaining some expertise, and going after what you want. This is a queen who enjoys competition, money, getting what she desires. Now, negatively, some of you could be unyielding. There's too much emotion because somebody is behaving in a temperamental manner. Again, they're interfering in other people's affairs. They're not listening. Maybe it's a busybody, or they're trying to impose their values on other people. Maybe they're too businesslike. So whatever this is this week, you are able to see a situation, and perhaps the goal is to steer something toward your favor. And you have a penchant this week for taking some risks and possibly being extreme in your pursuits. Now, you may be connecting with somebody who is scheming behind the scenes. Maybe they're jealous, maybe they're frustrated, or maybe they feel that they should be getting more attention, recognition than they actually deserve. They may be feeling very self-important. And because of that, they can be catty or overly dramatic. So you could be dealing with some volatile situations where somebody's not giving in. In other cases, maybe somebody is very passionate about protecting their loved ones, and they're putting aside their own needs in order to serve other people. Now, that could be a good thing, or maybe that's some misplaced charity of some sort. It could be going after something ruthlessly. So this is going to be a week where you have to be mindful of trying to get that recognition. You may be in the spotlight. You may be attracting a lot of attention from business partners, from romantic suitors, from friends, from loved ones. They want to connect to you. And, in the best world, you are connecting to people who stoke your fire. They bring out your passion. They inspire you. You motivate them, and you receive something in return. So your interests are aligned. But for others of you, there's a real effort to get some form of attention or recognition in a way that becomes negative. Someone may be cloying or self-serving or needy, and they begin to alienate other people or actually get on other people's nerves. So again, that extreme behavior. It could be that, if you were having difficulties within the family, you feel like something is very complicated, almost hopeless because of the disharmony, and you want to steer matters your way or influence it. Or it could be, again, somebody's temperamental and they're creating some drama within the family circle. So again, you may be seeking some kind of guidance or direction, trying to gain some recognition, and you have to be very careful about how you go about getting notice. Now, the third week, you have the Fool card. So this is a major card. And for some of you, perhaps you're connecting to someone at a distance. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you're receiving travelers. Something new, unexpected is occurring. Maybe this is a new acquaintance, a new friend, a new connection. You're networking with other people, and this is a good time for you to do that. It could be, somebody is overly emotional about being a mother or a project or a child or traveling. So this is a week where you're seeking some adventure, and you may be lacking experience in what you're doing. And so you're having to, pull on your courage and take a leap of faith about something. There's some important decisions that need to be made, possibly due to something unexpected in your circumstances, something significant. So this could be a week where it's time for change. You may have to be original. You may have to come up with a new solution towards something. And it could be about freedom. Somebody is very passionate. They want to do what they want to do. And so there could be issues of commitment, trusting in something. And you may be entering some uncharted territory this week. So for some of you, you are expanding yourself by stepping out there on faith. You're being cautious, and hopefully you're using your common sense. You may be taking more responsibility for yourself in order to achieve, for you to be happy, for you to be successful. So some of you are going in new directions, and perhaps the Queen of Wands is instrumental in that, or you playing the role of this queen. Maybe you're starting a new job, taking a trip, making a move, making some changes, starting a class, starting a relationship, or ending something. Something, however, that should bolster your confidence and faith. And you may be meeting some new people, making some new connections, letting people know what your skills are, and getting some notice for that. This is a week that focuses on your abundance. So you may be making lots of decisions, or decisions about your own personal prosperity. This is about putting in the effort and reaping the reward of that, and feeling a sense of gratitude. So for some of you, you have some new plans. You want to connect to people that inspire you, that motivate you. You want to realize some goals, and you're putting some new plans into motion. And this is a great time to introduce yourself to other people, to establish some kind of connection, some new acquaintance, and connect to those who can open some doors for you professionally. For others of you, though, again, you're going out of your way, trying to gain somehow, trying to get notice, and actually you're trying to impress the wrong people. Or maybe, there's some difficulties that come about because you're trying to save somebody or a situation, and perhaps you shouldn't be involved in it. You have to be careful this week of being naive or gullible, or taking some foolish risks, or being impatient or over-optimistic about something, specifically because all you could see was that goal line. You wanted to achieve something personally, or get some kind of personal gain where you no longer considered other people and their feelings and what they needed. It could also be you need to go in a new direction. You're too emotional. Maybe it has to do with abundance and having a scarcity mentality, and shifting that, being more enthusiastic, optimistic, open to the possibilities of life. Now, the last week you have the Temperance card. So for some of you, this is a tie to a Sagittarius. For others of you, perhaps you're connecting to a healer. Maybe you're doing a lot of cooking and entertaining. You're trying to figure out if you are compatible with somebody. And if there's been difficulty, maybe you're trying to reconcile some differences. You're trying to tolerate a situation that you may not otherwise do. And this is going to be a week where you're moving in a new direction, and the proper timing of that could be important. Perhaps travel is an issue, and, making those timely connections. or it's time to try to change your attitude or reach a goal or try to mend something. So you could be seeking some peace, and maybe you're in situations that require you forgive or accommodate or adapt to other people, and find the proper balance between you and another person. For some of you, maybe there are issues where somebody's drinking too much, or a decision to drink, or have drinks with the family. Others of you, you may be trying to, investigate something. Perhaps you're dipping your toe in the water, so to speak, to test something out, see how you feel about it, and yet not get carried away, remain grounded. It could also be that you're trying to create that perfect balance in your life or in your family or in your emotions with another person. Maybe there's somebody getting involved. Maybe you're getting some inner guidance as to how to do that. So for some of you, you may be connecting to people that offer protection. This may be a healer of some sort, spiritual, physical. It could be somebody that's especially good at making things happen. It could be, working as a chef, perhaps. Maybe you're doing a lot of cooking or entertaining, or some of you, maybe there's a decision to mediate within the family. So you are looking at your position, and the key this week is to be moderate, to have some self-restraint, to compromise when necessary, especially, again, if there's something larger at stake. And for some of you, this is the time for you to have that discussion. Going in a new direction means you need to talk. You need to put everything out there on the table. And you need to go over the finer points of something and try to find where you're in agreement with another person. And where you can't be, you have to agree to let it go. Your conversations are going to be important in how you connect with people. Are you making them feel like you're domineering, or are you getting involved in things that are none of your business? Are you pushing people, or are people doing that to you? This is a week to clear the air and to really examine why you're involved with other people. Are you staying in negative situations and chained to people because you're trying to convince yourself that it's the right thing to do, or that you're doing it for the other person's sake? This is a time to go in a new direction and look at whether your relationship is negative. Is it serving you? Is it just a habit? And are you making an excuse? Is it holding you back? Or are you holding your own self back through not applying your talents? So for some of you, this is going to be a week until you get some things settled. You may find it difficult to relax. You may have some physical issues. Maybe there's something mysterious going on that you can't totally get a handle on. It's difficult to diagnose. A rash, some annoying illness, and you can't quite find the root of it. This is also a week, though, to get in touch intuitively. Your dreams could be very important. They could be prophetic in some way. And you'll need to be focused. You shouldn't be so intent on your goal that you become oblivious to something and become distracted. This is a week to recognize true intuition as opposed to being impulsive or naive or rushing into something. Because if that's the case, you may say something, or you may purchase something, or do something that you regret. You may take the Ten of Cups and go overboard with regard to something. The Ten of Cups is a card of excess. So again, there could be, maybe you're making too many compromises, or perhaps someone is drinking too much, or too emotional, and you're trying to compromise and reconcile that. And you have to understand where perhaps too you may be putting something off. You may be procrastinating or excessive in some way, and that ends up costing you. Now, some of you, somebody may be trading secrets back and forth, or there's something that you're not seeing. Maybe there's something that you're hiding, or somebody's stirring up the past, and there's an influence of your memories, your connections with others, and how you respond emotionally. It could be that there's some important issues that actually need to come to light. Now, the underlying energy is this King of Swords. This could be air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the traits of this king will be important. It could be that, you're making some compromises. Maybe somebody's been cut off from the family, or you want to handle your goals or a family situation more effectively. Maybe there's a family attorney that is important. Maybe you're involved in a family law case. Maybe it's concerning children or making some kind of compromise or a concession. For some of you, you're making some important decisions. You're trying to decide what's fair, or you're connecting to decision makers in some way. But this is a time where you're going to set some new wheels in motion with the specific goal of gaining an advantage or protecting yourself in some way. So there's a focus on your authority or that of others, getting some sound advice, some counsel, connecting with decision makers. Some of you are going to find yourself in a situation where the focus is fairness and justice. Maybe you're in arbitration, maybe you're connecting to a lawyer, or maybe you're making some decisions about having surgery and doing some healing. You will have to assert yourself and be rational in your thinking. There could be a focus on your ambitions, or somebody is out of touch with their emotions. Maybe there's a need to get more grounded and feel more. Somebody could be out of touch with their feelings. Now, this could be a time where you want to go in a new direction. Maybe somebody is too clingy or too excessive, and you're cutting them off. You don't want those limitations. You don't want to be bogged down. Maybe it's legitimate. Maybe it's just a fear of being close to somebody. But you are making some decisions that affect your future. Some of you, you're getting that help. Again, it could be a specialist, a doctor, an official, an attorney, an authority of some sort. You're getting some guidance that connects to your aspirations. Now, negatively, this is a king who may have cut his children off. Maybe there are issues of divorce and you're having to work that out. It could be that something has been unfair. Somebody's been exploited, or they made a poor decision. Maybe there are accusations flying back and forth, or somebody is trying to impose their opinions. In some cases, maybe someone is seeking revenge, or they're trying to gain power, or somebody's being unrealistic about something. So this could be a month where you're either suspicious, or someone is suspicious of you, or they're ruthless, or you're being overly cautious, or you're trying to create that order in your life by making good decisions. Now, this is going to center around gaining some kind of clarity, or repairing something, or improving something that may connect to your domestic routine, your daily life, your work, your health. And it's also going to tie to expectations. And you may find yourself in situations where there's a bit of drama. Either you're getting a lot done, you're being very productive, you're realizing some goal, or you're dealing with people who are emotional and need to practice some self-restraint. There could be some drama on the way, some false accusations or some legitimate accusations because somebody is falling short. They're not doing what they said they would. They're not following through. They're not delivering. So there's some misjudgment perhaps. And so no matter how golden the opportunity on the horizon, or how urgent a situation is that you're facing, your circumstances are going to unfold through smaller events, small parts of a larger situation that's going to continue to evolve over time more slowly and more dramatically. Now, you're also looking at options, whether to bring more drama into a situation or try to simplify it. There's a desire that you have to suit yourself with regard to circumstances and still do the right thing. So this is sort of a wild card reading where, there could be some conflict triggered. There could be a conflict of interest, and it could involve adversity or some form of temptation. So for some of you also, there's a lack of stability. Somebody's being unrealistic, or perhaps the details are still being worked out. And it centers on benefits that come through others or favors. And you have a king and a queen, so there's some form of attraction, or maybe this is a couple. And logic is going to help you in your situation, a situation that could easily spin out of control where ultimately there are no winners. And it may involve somebody trying to motivate or give support through perhaps a pep talk. Now, maybe this is a marriage counselor, or maybe you're dealing with issues centered around pain or anger or confusion. Perhaps there's betrayal. Maybe there's a choice about a career that's not suitable. And yet, because of that, you may get very inspired or creative in order to move in another direction. For some of you, this is the inability to have a close relationship. By the end of the month, you should be setting out some well thought out plans. You're putting those into action. And maybe it involves someone who is motivational. Maybe they're a great motivational speaker. Maybe you're making a presentation, or you're connecting to somebody who has some good connections that can help you. So there could be a sudden change in your career. Maybe there's a complete lifestyle change. Or maybe you've made the decision to reinvent your life in some aspect. Now, your challenge number is number 6. Meaning that you're going to be especially busy and active in the pursuit of that influence of the 6. Resolutions are going to take more time, and they're going to be more significant to your future. And so the goal is to restore some equilibrium, some continuity from some form of disruption. And there may be some welcome evolution for you through your desires, through change, communication, decision-making, and also challenging circumstances. All right, Leo, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know with your comments, and don't forget to subscribe. You can also support me on Patreon, join me on my blog for daily posts, on Instagram, over at Vimeo, and of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.